Life is a path so many don't know how to travel. Walking alone may be as risky as not walking at all. It's in this light that your life coach, Prince Abah, is passionately committed to bring you wisdom tips and practical steps to guide your path to success. On today's Insight and Foresight, Prince Abah shows you how to turn every adversity into opportunity while leveraging on principles, as well as show you how to maximize your potentials for optimal results. And now, your life coach.
Welcome to Insight and Foresight, and it's my utmost privilege to take you on an important series that will expose you to some fundamental laws that govern life and success. This special series is titled The Laws of Success Series, and on this important edition, we shall be discussing a very important law of success called the law of vision. I am Prince Abah. Before we critically discuss the topic at hand on this series, I wish to quickly capture a few truths about laws. I'm sure you're familiar with the term law. What does it mean to you? Let's look at a few generally applicable definitions of the term law. According to the 6th edition of the Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, a law is a whole system of rules that everyone in a country or society must obey. A law has also been defined as a scientific rule that explains a natural process. A law can also be defined as a set of principles that governs, controls, and guides a given event or events. Now, everything in life is governed by laws. Not one thing in life is without a body of set of laws. Think about it. There are laws of aerodynamics which deal with flight. There are laws of energy. There are laws of motion. There is also the law of gravity. There are laws of thermodynamics, and the list is endless. So also, success has laws governing it. You are a product of the laws you keep or neglect. The truth is that you can't break laws. Any law you attempt breaking breaks you in return. Let's further look at some cogent characteristics of laws. First, laws are respecters of no person. It's not the respecter of skin colors, age, gender, status, and what have you. Laws are programmed to give you just what you deserve for keeping them or breaking them, irrespective of who you are, what you have, or what you don't have. Laws will do for an old man what it can do for a child, as long as both apply them correctly. Let me give you a very clear example. There are laws of automobiles. Have you ever seen a car refusing to start or move because the guy who takes on the wheels is a 15-year-old boy? Of course not. That car will move for a 15-year-old boy if he knows the laws governing automobiles, just like it will move for a 50-year-old man who also knows and applies the same laws. So you see, laws don't respect you because of who you are or how old you are. It simply works because you know them and also apply them. Second, laws are universal. One law that works in the US will also work in Nigeria if you apply it correctly. Success laws are not bound by geography or climate. A law simply works based on the knowledge and correct application of it. For instance, the laws of gravity and flotation are the same everywhere in the world. Gravity works in Nigeria the same way it works in the USA, in Canada, in South Africa, and all the countries and cities of the world, because this law is universal. Third, laws are unchangeable. That means they don't alter their states. They are fixed and steady. The law of gravity means the same to a Nigerian just as it means to a Chinese. Laws don't change for any reason. They don't change to suit weather, climate, or geography. You see, you can't change laws. No one has got that power yet, and I know no one will ever. At least you are not Merlin or Zedekos. Fourth, laws do not die, they live on. The death of someone does not mean the death of a law. Laws are immortal. They are invisible forces that cannot be destroyed. Dinosaurs came and went extinct after many years, but laws stay through generations past. They don't die. The same law of motion or gravity has been in existence from the beginning of the world. It's not a different law of gravity we have today. It's the same old law. Laws existed before men. There are more characteristics of laws, but let's make do with this, at least for this edition. Okay, having said all this, I also consider it very important to stress on the fact that every failure in life is premised on two things. Just two things. Are you surprised? Let me show you. Number one reason people fail is ignorance about success laws. The second reason is the indiscipline to correctly apply acquired laws. So by extension, we can also say that two factors are responsible for success, and these are the knowledge of laws and the correct application of them. I often hear folks say knowledge is power, but that's not completely true. It is both knowledge and the correct application of it that is power. That is why this series titled Laws of Success focuses at bringing to your knowledge cogent laws that govern life and success, as well as encourage you to apply them. Trust me, you will always get the results. Alright, remember, on this series we are discussing an all-important law called the law of vision. I will be back after this break.
Are you thinking of more income to satisfy your ever-increasing needs? Are you thinking of expanding your business? Do you have a business idea and you're thinking of how to raise a startup capital? Find answers to these questions and many more in this timeless book titled The Winning Business. In this book, the author, Prince Abah, shows you how to start a successful business, the purposes of business, the indicators of business opportunities, the power of ideas, how to develop a winning business plan, how your business can create jobs and reduce unemployment, how to develop multiple streams of income force, increase wealth, how to take appropriate actions towards achieving desired success in business and life. Place your order now by calling our resource and publication unit on 0806 602 0174 or 0708 002 8524. In order to lead, you must read.
Welcome. We are discussing the law of vision. Let me ask you, what comes to your mind when you hear the word vision? For most of us, it is the dreams we have in the night when we sleep. But truly, vision has little or nothing to do with that. So what is vision? Let me give you a quick answer to that. A vision is simply a mental picture of a preferred future. Vision can also be defined as the ability to create a better future through the power of your imagination. Now get this, there is no better future without vision. Every tangible result is a product of an intangible reality. That means nothing exists in the physical world until it has been created in the unseen world. That is your imagination. You know, that is the most interesting nation in the world. Yes, your image nation, which you know as the imagination, is the best nation in the world. In that nation, you can create or build about anything. In that nation, there are no restrictions and impossibilities. You can make anything happen. The truth is that no one may take responsibility for your imagination. You are the sole architect of your mind. Whatever you build there becomes your actual reality tomorrow. Without vision, we cannot succeed. Without vision, there's no future. The day Disneyland was opening in Orlando, Florida, the master of ceremony who introduced Mrs. Disney said to her, "Mrs. Disney, I wish that Walt Disney was around to see this." Because by the time the whole thing had become a reality, Walt had passed on. Mrs. Disney stood up, got the microphone and said, "Walt saw it." She gave the microphone back to him and sat down. That was all she said. The truth is, he saw it ahead of everybody else. He sat down one day and looked at the barren land and said to his son, "I can see a mountain there." The son said, "A mountain in Florida? There are no mountains here." Walt said, "I can see it." Then he went ahead and described all the things he saw, the park and families that would come and have fun with their children. He was a dreamer. A man by the name Robert Woodruff was the president of Coca-Cola during World War II. He made a very powerful pronouncement. "I see a vision that wherever American soldiers are 5 years from now, they will be able to buy a bottle of Coca-Cola." That is how Coca-Cola expanded, because one man was able to see what, naturally speaking at that time, did not make sense at all. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I have a dream that someday our children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character." What he saw is happening. Freedom and equal rights for all in the United States of America. A young man at Harvard University had a dream at a time when computers were not in popular use. In fact, some people predicted that it would soon fizzle out like other toys. His dream was to introduce some programs into the computer that would make a personal computer user-friendly, so that people all over the world would find it convenient to use. Bill Gates' dream has become a reality. In the process of fulfilling his dream, he became the richest man in the world at the time. You know, what you see is what you become. The foundation for improvement, change, and progress is vision. Until your eyes see, your ears hear, and your heart grasp, things cannot move from the invisible world to the visible. Helen Keller lived a very wonderful life and became successful. Though blind, deaf, and dumb, she was able to rise beyond her limitations to live a fruitful life. When someone asked her what could be worse than being blind, she said, "Having sight without vision." That is, having your physical eyes open without being able to see possibilities beyond current realities. Every day in your life, you are faced with millions of opportunities, but seizing these opportunities will be determined by your ability to see them. Until you are able to recognize the opportunity in a need or problem, you will never make progress in life. Vision is that creative force that turns every problem or need into an opportunity for success. Vision is a propelling element that gravitates success in your direction. A greater percentage of the human population have no vision for their lives. Little wonder failure rate in life is higher than success rate. This is because so many people do not invest time in building capacity for vision. One way to build capacity for vision is through meditation. Meditation is the art of dreaming. Use your imagination to dream of possibilities. Travel into the future and make yours a world of possibilities. Dominate the unfavorable circumstances of your life through your imagination. Break free from your current limitations. In your imagination, you cannot be limited by time or space. If you're hungry and you have enough wisdom to begin to meditate on food, somewhere along the line, if you dream long enough, you will forget your hunger. What it means is that you went into the future, borrowed satisfaction, and brought it into the present temporarily. Of course, occasionally, you will run into physical or natural challenges that will slap your face and take your dream from you. But it is up to you to slap that reality back and collect your dream. Without vision, there will be no direction. The greatest threat to the survival of the average person is the future. It is the inability to know where to go and what to do to make tomorrow better. That is why Whenever you find a person who has developed the capacity to capture vision for self and others, that person becomes a magnet. Whether in a church, business, family, school, city, or nation, he will attract people because people need vision to survive. Another way of building capacity for vision is through exposure. Exposure also helps. Reading makes a whole world of difference. Just reading books on national transformation by some leading social reformers like Dr. David Obueli, Dr. Miles Monroe, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and so on helped me catch a vision that I would build and lead a large organization that will be at the front line in the championing of social transformation in the continents of Africa, Asia, and Europe. I was still an undergraduate at the university, but I caught a vision because I was reading, and what I was reading fired my imagination. Those letters in the books became fire that burned in my heart. My heart was hot as I was reading those books, listening to tapes, and watching videos. Friend, you know what? Exposure matters. When a camera faces an object, as you press the shutter, the reflection of light on that object establishes an image on the film in the camera. Sometimes in the process of your being in an environment and watching somebody else do something, your shutter opens and pictures are burned into your mind by the natural phenomenon around you. That is what exposure does. I encourage you to have a vision of the future. Get books, cut pictures from magazines, write checks in your name, and stick them on the wall in your room. Advertise your future to yourself. Let me at this juncture bring to your notice some limitations to vision. Number one, past failures and painful experiences. Our past failures and painful experiences have the tendency to erect barricades in our minds. For the average person who grows up in the developing parts of the world, those past failures may include not getting education because one's family cannot afford to pay fees. It can also include ejection from an apartment due to inability to pay rent, watching a loved one die because of lack of money or basic hospital equipment, going to bed hungry, and so on. However, your past does not have to dictate your future. Your tomorrow will be better than your yesterday. Number two, traditions. Sometimes the methods we have been used to before frustrate our capacity to innovate. Traditions have the power to frustrate vision. I grew up hearing this saying, let us do it the same way it has always been done so we can get the results we have always been getting. Personally, I refuse to accept things the way they are. The truth is that if you only maintain the status quo, you will never succeed. This statement from Zig Ziglar has encouraged me to do things the same way they have always been done, and to expect different results is one of the definitions of insanity. This statement has given me a stink foundation for being radically different. Number three, being self-centered. Human nature is selfish. We want to solve our own problems first before we care about others. When all you see is yourself, you will hardly succeed. You can never succeed by putting your eyes on yourself. Let me spill this top secret of mine to you. My ability to envision greatness was sharpened through taking responsibility for people. I learned to take my eyes off me and fixing it on the needs of others. Every day, I'm in search of newer ways to add value to people's lives, and the result for me is ever increasing success. It is impossible to fail when you are a people person. Can you take out time to search out the needs and problems of others? Can you make a decision to take your eyes off you and put it on others? This is one of the fastest routes to vision. Every successful man had a vision, and you know what is more interesting? That vision had a connection to people. When Bill Gates envisioned building Microsoft Corporation, he had people at the back of his mind. When Steve Jobs caught the idea of the Apple mobile communication devices, he had people in mind. This man and many more saw how they could improve the lives of humanity through their vision. This is because they took their eyes off themselves. The limitation to your success will be your unwillingness to die to self-centeredness. Number 4, inflexibility. Sometimes we're inflexible in our thinking. We're in love with our opinions. If you do not have a flexible mind, you cannot create the future. It is only in your imagination that you can take a $5,000 suit and match it with you when you do not even have enough shirts yet. Some people's thinking is so rigid that they cannot see the next level. Their thoughts are cast in concrete. However, some others have their thinking so fluid they can imagine anything. Are you limitless in your capacity? Can you see 5 loaves and 2 fishes feeding 5,000 people? Can you see a desert becoming a city? Can you see a pauper becoming a CEO? How do you dream of owning a private jet when you earn only a small income? Your mind must be made of fluids, not stones. Number 5, lack of creativity. The ability to bring into existence what has never existed before is a nature built into us. Everything you need to fulfill your destiny is already around you, but you need vision to realize the potentials in your resources. Research has proven that the highest invention on earth has been made out of a maximum of 1% out of the total 100% creative ability embedded in man's mind. Not even Thomas Edison could use above 0.5% in the making of all his inventions. Isn't that amazing to know that we are so stuck with so much inside our mind? All you need to move your life forward is to task that creative force in your mind to work. The enemy of creativity is tradition or the status quo. Number 6, inability to see potentials. When it comes to this issue of vision, you can have vision concerning people. If you will succeed in life, you must have the capacity to see people not just the way they are, but the way they could be. If you are a man or woman of vision, do not use people's past to judge them. Sometimes the worst drunk in town is the best saint we will ever have. People are naturally attracted to those who believe in them. Most people do not have faith in themselves. Moreover, many do not have someone who has faith in them. Can you see in people the good that they cannot see in themselves, or that others have not seen in them? If I hold a mango seed in my hands and I ask you, what is this? What would be your response? If you only see things the way they are, you will say it is a seed. If you also see things the way they could be, you will add that it is potentially an orchard of mangoes. Things will not always remain the way they are now. You will experience change in your life, family, business, organization, and nation if you learn to see things differently. Number 7, and finally, small dreams. People are limited from seeing the bigger picture because the dream's small. Now, I'm not playing down on starting small. Start from where you are, but do not stay there. It is not a crime to start small. If you can see the future, it is just a matter of time. You must have a dream, because your dreams will happen. Everybody sees the same sky, but not everybody sees the same horizon. Where people see scarcity, you can see abundance. Where people see failure, you can see success. You see, vision is the essence of life. It is a capacity to perceive or see. It is vision that makes a successful marriage, business, government, and nation. It is vision that makes a leader. Take vision away from a leader and you cut out his or her heart. Vision is a capacity to see what others cannot see. to recognize potentials in people, circumstances, and places. It is seeing people and things not just the way they are, but the way they could be, and championing change for improvement. Vision practically alters your life. It restructures you from inside and turns you into a magnet. When people come around you, they begin to get a sense of direction for their lives and a sense of assurance about the future. You cannot get that assurance everywhere. You can only get it from someone who has the capacity to perceive the future. That is how it works. People need direction. People need vision to survive. Anyone who can make it happen in his imagination has done it. This is because what he sees inside today, he will see on the outside tomorrow. It is a principle. The man who achieves great goals in his imagination will carry himself differently from the one who only lives in the present. Such a person's speech, attitude, and courage cannot be the same as the person who has not been there. In life, what you see is what you get. Do not ever lose grip of that basic truth about vision. You must have access to vision and turn that vision to reality. In order to fulfill your vision, you must become the person in the vision. When you look at that great dream of your future, you will realize that the most important factor in it is you. You are the magnet that will attract everything else in the picture. To make the vision happen, we must put enough power in the magnet. To put it more clearly, you must grow to the size of your vision. You must become the person in the vision. To grow, you have to eat, and it is information that grows your heart. Learn the things that will give you capacity to function as a person in the vision. Read books, take courses, and get mentoring. Next, you need to develop a plan. A vision is essentially a picture of a destination. However, you need to calculate how to make the journey from where you are to where you want to be. That begins with your certain specific targets and goals. Usually, your vision describes a future state that is very different from your current realities. It can be so overwhelming that you may not be able to design the grand plan for its accomplishment. However, you still need to develop a systematic plan for its accomplishment. Start from where you are. You may only be able to plan for 1 year. Go ahead. Before that year is over, you will be able to see further. Another vital thing you need to do to fulfill your vision is to seek the cooperation of people, as well as develop the capacity to grow them into the size of the vision. If your vision is big enough, you will not be able to achieve it alone. That is why you need to be a leader. Since you will have to secure the cooperation of others to fulfill your vision, the people on your team will largely determine the success of your vision. Give them self-esteem, train them, and delegate to them. To fulfill your vision, you can also leverage on laws. Remember, in the early parts of this broadcast, where we observed some characteristics of laws, I made it crystal clear that laws are unchanging and universal facts. Our world is under the control of laws. The more you understand those laws and satisfy their conditions, the more mastery you have in our world to get your dreams and aspirations fulfilled. Laws are external road maps. If you are traveling, you do not need to invent your own map, especially if you do not know the road. The best thing to do is to get an authentic road map and follow the directions. That is what laws are. They give us directions and they make decisions easy for us in life. When you see a powerful vision, You must realize you do not have the power to make the vision happen. You must then turn to laws, because you can leverage on laws to get amazing results. What do I mean? I have a small quantity of maize. Vision helps me to recognize a potential harvest in my few maize seeds. How do I translate from seeds to harvest? I use the law of sowing and reaping. I did not create the law, I met it here. Yet, I cannot deny its existence. I cannot make a seed grow. I can only sow the seed, and it is natural for that seed to grow, because the power to make a seed grow is invested right inside the seed. But to get the harvest, I must leverage on the law of sowing. By so doing, I'm aligning with unseen forces to multiply the little resources that I have. The person who trivializes the importance of laws is in for many struggles in the bid to achieve success. Refusal to use laws to achieve results breeds desperation, manipulation, intimidation, and ultimately frustration. Realize that you are the architect of your future. You are also the architect of your own doom. What you choose to do with your life is up to you. You can choose to while away time in frivolities or get busy with a big vision. I sincerely advise you to be a person of vision. Having a vision for your life is the only way to attract greatness in life. It is the key for standing out. It is your ticket to the world of relevance and significance. You have just one life to live. I advise you to live it well. Eliminate everything that distracts you from concentrating on your vision. Get books, read them. Books are sharpeners of vision. Get a life coach, that is a mentor. A mentor is not your casual friend. He is someone who knows the road to your destination. In one of the editions of Insight and Foresight radio broadcast, I shall treat the law of mentorship. Wow, I am 100% convinced that today's edition of Insight and Foresight radio broadcast has richly impacted your life. And I believe so strongly that in the shortest possible time, you are going to reach the highest point of your goals, dreams, and aspirations. I hope to see you succeed by applying the laws of vision. Until I come your way same time next week on the same station with an interesting package and insight on foresight, I am Prince Abah. Always be a person of vision.
We believe you've been transformed by the wonders of God's Word. For additional information about us, you can visit our website at www.pristinehills.org. You can also send us a mail at info@pristinehills.org or call
070-331-66762 or 081-31-555-747.
Pristine Hills Ministries, raising global leaders.